He didn't steal from a stranger. He didn't break the law. He stole his own father's house. And that one legal move cost him everything. The lawyer slid the papers across the polished oak table and said, "This is perfectly legal." Ethan Miller didn't smile, but his fingers tightened around the pen like a man gripping a lifeline. Outside the office window, rain streaked down the glass, blurring the city into gray lines. Inside, Ethan felt something sharper than relief. 3 signatures. That's all it took. His father's house, worth nearly $2 million, was now his. Not because his father had gifted it to him, but because Ethan had outplayed him. Ethan grew up in a quiet Midwest town, the kind where neighbors waved and doors stayed unlocked. His father, Richard Miller, was a respected carpenter, honest, patient, and stubbornly old-fashioned. He built homes with his hands and taught his son one rule above all: never take what isn't yours. Work for it. Ethan nodded as a kid, but deep down he hated that rule. While other boys dreamed of baseball or bikes, Ethan dreamed of money. Big money, clean suits, fast cars, power. He watched business shows, memorized success stories, and promised himself he'd never live small like his father. Richard owned a large property on the edge of town, a beautiful old house with land that developers constantly eyed. Over the years, offers poured in. Richard rejected them all. "This house raised us," he'd say. "Some things aren't for sale." To Ethan, that sounded like insanity. To him, the house wasn't a memory. It was a missed opportunity. When Ethan moved to the city and built a career in finance, his visits home became rare and transactional. He didn't ask about his father's health. He asked about the property value. When Richard's memory started slipping in his early 70s, Ethan noticed something else slipping too. Doctors said it was early-stage cognitive decline. "He's still capable," they said, "but he needs support." Ethan heard only one word: opportunity. He began showing up more, helping with paperwork, managing bills, suggesting legal protections. "You trust me, right?" Ethan asked one afternoon, casually sliding documents across the kitchen table. Richard hesitated. "I don't understand all this legal stuff." "That's why I'm here," Ethan smiled. The signatures were slow, shaky, but they happened. Within months, the property was transferred into a trust, with Ethan as the sole controller. Technically legal, morally bankrupt. When Richard finally realized what had happened, it was too late. "You tricked me," he said quietly, standing in the living room he had built with his own hands. Ethan didn't deny it. "I did what was smart," he replied. "You were wasting it. This place could change my life." Richard's shoulders slumped. "No," he said. "It already did. Just not the way you think." They stopped speaking after that. Richard moved into a small assisted living apartment across town. He took almost nothing with him, just old photos and a toolbox worn smooth by decades of work. Ethan didn't help him pack. He was too busy listing the house. The sale went through fast. Developers paid top dollar. Ethan upgraded his lifestyle overnight. Luxury apartment, new car, expensive dinners with people who used words like leverage and dominance. He posted photos online. Success looked good on him, but something strange happened. The money didn't feel real. No matter how much he spent, it never felt like enough. Then the calls started. A risky investment he'd made collapsed. Then another. The market turned. His firm downsized. Ethan told himself it was temporary. He doubled down, borrowed, chased losses, just like he'd chased his father's property. Within 2 years, the money was gone. The apartment, the car, the lifestyle repossessed. Ethan found himself alone in a small rented room, staring at a phone that no longer rang. Out of desperation, he went back to his hometown. The old house was gone. In its place stood a half-finished commercial building, abandoned due to zoning disputes. Concrete, steel, no sold. Ethan drove to the assisted living facility. Richard wasn't there. He passed away last winter, the nurse said gently. Heart failure. Ethan's mouth went dry. Did he leave anything? The nurse handed him a small envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper. A note. "Ethan, I know what you did. I forgave you anyway, not because it didn't hurt, but because carrying anger is heavier than losing a house. I hope one day you understand that wealth taken without love turns into a debt the soul must pay. I loved you. I always will. Dad. Ethan read it again. And again. The room felt smaller each time. He had won legally, but lost completely. The long road back. Years passed. Ethan didn't become rich again, but he became something else. He worked small jobs, helped rebuild community homes after storms, learned to use tools the way his father once had. People didn't know his past. They only knew he showed up. Every nail he hammered felt like a quiet apology. He never tried to justify what he'd done. Some losses he learned were meant to teach, not to be undone. Greed doesn't always arrive with violence or crime. Sometimes it wears a suit. Sometimes it uses legal documents. Sometimes it smiles and says, "Trust me." But taking what you didn't earn, especially from those who loved you, comes with a cost no money can cover. Because when you steal from your own roots, you don't just lose property, you lose yourself. If this story made you think, remember, wealth gained through greed may look like success, but it always sends the bill later.